Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be giving you guys an updated version of how much money you're going to need to buy everything in the gun running update. So a couple things. I've stated that I was going to do updates as we received more information, and a couple days ago on Friday, Rockstar did give us more information on gun running, and I'm going to keep you guys updated as to how much I think you're going to need. And spoiler alert, the price just keeps rising. So I'm doing this to make sure you guys are prepared, but also because you guys have been sending me tons of tweets saying, how much money are we going to be needing? How much do the bunkers cost? How much do the vehicles cost? Out of all the questions I get, probably 7 or 8 out of 10 have to do with the price of this update. So you guys are definitely very curious. Now, in the last update video, I asked if you guys wanted me to do a shark card giveaway before the update came out. Based off of your response, you want me to wait for gun running, but if you want that to change, send me a tweet. Drop a like on this video, let me know you do. But with out of the way, let's jump straight into this and let's figure out how much you're gonna need to buy everything in the gun running update. So when I left off last time, I'll leave a link to the video in the description. Basically, long story short, is I said it's probably gonna be anywhere from 50 to 60 or 60 to 75 million dollars for all the content in gun running. And I justified that for a couple reasons. Number one, all the content in import-export was about $40 or $45 million. So is it that shocking that all the content in gun running, what an update that looks to be way more expensive, could easily be $50 to $60 million? That was kind of my logic right there. Now, since Rockstar announced the first details and screenshots for gun running and when I made my updated video, we've gotten a lot of information. Let's start with the bunkers. So this is actually something that Rockstar have not given us a lot of details on. They just state they're massive underground hubs. But from what we can see so far with the images, it looks as if there's going to be a ton of upgrades to these bunkers. So I think the bunkers are going to be pretty cheap as like a baseline price. But then I believe there's going to be a ton of updates. For example, the amount of vehicles we can store in our bunkers. Will it have aircraft storage too? Rockstar talked about researching things inside of the bunkers, which will allow us to have upgrades for weapons and vehicles or updates for the mobile operations center. I don't think that researching is going to be free. I think it's going to cost money, just like it does in real life, to research these opportunities. So I almost believe that the bunkers will be an ever-continuing dynamic cost that you just have to keep investing in over and over and over again if you want the latest high-tech gear for your characters. So my prediction for the bunkers is it's going to be $2 to $10 million. $2 million is going to get you in the door, and we don't even know if there's going to be multiple sizes of the bunkers too. There could be small, medium, and large, or there could only be one size. And then the extra $8 million is going to have to do with the upgrades, whether it's lighting or signage or, things inside of the bunkers, paying to have security. We saw a security camera in one of the shots. Maybe that will prevent raids. All the equipment and upgrades you're going to be doing. So my prediction right there, $2 to $10 million for the bunker, and that's all going to depend on the upgrades you want and how, I guess, fully operational you want it to be. So now let's talk about the next biggest thing, and that's going to be the mobile operations center. Rockstar actually gave us a lot of details on this. Number one, they showed us a full, and it has modular construction, which is going to allow for a combination of things like vehicle and weapon workshops, luxury living quarters, a command center, facilities for upgrading our vehicles, and weapons. So to me, it sounds as if the bunker and the MOC are going to operate the same way. You can buy kind of a stock version that will be fine and that will work for, I guess, kind of entry-level gun running stuff, but then you can upgrade it to be an ultra-powerful machine. And I think that's where you're going to get pretty pricey too. I would imagine that this MOC is probably going to start around $1 million, but could easily have upgrades up to $5 million. The more you add, obviously, the more expensive that it's going to be. So now can you see where my price prediction is starting to come in? With a fully upgraded bunker and mobile operations center, you're already at $15 million. Again, that's just my guess, but I really do believe that it could easily be that expensive. Now, moving on to the next biggest items that we're probably going to be purchasing, and that is going to be vehicles. So far, we've seen a handful of vehicles. We've seen the armored dune buggy, we've seen the armored or weaponized dune loader, the APC tank, the armored Tampa, and then we've seen that mobile anti-aircraft turret that's being pulled by the Vapid Saddler. And I also can't forget about the rocket bike, so that brings our total to 6 vehicles. We've only seen 6 vehicles so far, and the rumor that's been going around based off of the kind of cryptic puzzle from Yan is that there's going to be 17 new vehicles. So if we just average out those 17 vehicles, and each one of them are $1 million, and that is easily on the low end, that's $17 million right there just to buy the vehicles. That doesn't include the upgrades. We saw multiple upgrades for the Armored Tampa, the Dune Buggy as well. Same with the APC. It had multiple sets of variations, so that could obviously be very pricey. And again, $1 million is pretty low to go on an average. I mean, if you think about it, Rocket Voltic Ruiner 2000 for $5 million. But even if we jump up that price to an average of $2 million per vehicle, which is not outrageous, that brings us to $36 million for vehicles alone. Add that to the $10 million bunker price, $46 million. Add that to the $5 million mobile operations center. We're over $50 million. Can you see how this update is getting pretty pricey already just based off of those guesses? And we're not even done yet, because the next biggest thing probably has to be the weapons. Weapon upgrading is going to be huge, and I don't know how expensive this is going to be. Attachments for regular weapons are anywhere from around $10,000 to $20,000, but these require research in order to get done. So that's something else that you're going to have to incorporate in there. So I don't know how many weapons are going to be able to be upgraded. That amount is unknown at the moment. But even if it's like 6, which is currently right now the minimum, I could still see that being around $1 million. And it's probably more than that. And as Rockstar even mentioned on the Newswire, we have barely scratched the surface. We're just looking at a few of the potent new tools that are going to be at our disposal. So weapons, we'll say $1 to $3 million, depending on how many you do and how many you upgrade. So we're looking at about $53, $54 million right there. We've got the brand new clothing, which Rockstar has been advertising a ton in the screenshots. Nearly every character has new sets of clothing on, whether it's full suits or accessories. So we know people are going to be interested in that. Probably another $1 to $2 million in clothing. And I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of other miscellaneous things too. Maybe some features that are added into the game, like the ability to, spawn a Pegasus vehicle from the SecuroServe. That might cost a little bit more money. So, we're just going to have to keep adding things like that. And this is why I believe that in its entirety, everything in this gun running update at a minimum is going to cost over $50 million here, with more of a realistic inching closer to $60, $65 million. So really what this new information has given us is the amount of detail that Rockstar has put into everything. And with that amount of detail is going to come more cost. I thought the mobile operations center would be something simple like the Brickade that you just buy and that's it. But it has way more detail. Every vehicle we've seen so far looks to have way more customization options than I could have possibly thought. And same with the bunkers. They look to be way more dynamic and might require an incredibly time-intensive and money-intensive, supply in order to keep it up and running. So I'm staying firm on that amount, that $60 to $75 million should cover you to buy everything. If import-export was $40 to $45 million, and most of that was civilian cars, and there wasn't even a new thing you needed to buy outside of the $1 million to $2 million vehicle warehouse, just imagine what's going to happen with gun running. I don't want to go too crazy and say like it's going to be over $100 million, because that would be nuts. But I do think it's going to be that $60 to $75 million range, and I do believe that this is going to be the most expensive update of all time. Now, the only thing I've seen out of this that kind of makes me feel a little bit better is Rockstar has mentioned on both newswires that there's going to be a lot of profit, there's a lot of money to be made, and they've specifically mentioned that. So I wonder if the gun running missions are going to be more lucrative, way more lucrative, than anything else we've seen in the game so far, like import-export or biker stuff. I guess only time will tell, but maybe that will offset some of the crazy expensive costs that is going to be gun running if the missions and the businesses bring in millions of dollars at a time, allowing you to invest it back in and afford all of those vehicles. It's just a little food for thought, but it might make things a little less painful. But really, that's all the information I've got for you guys in this video today. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. How much is gun running going to cost? If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.